What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, as usual, from time to time, I will come across new information about the quantum financial system, and believe it or not, we got real professionals, real professors, real experts now talking about the quantum financial system. I don't want to hear all this crap out there from people going, I told you it was there. No. Nobody's ever been able to prove that it's there. The only reason why I know it exists is because a friend of mine told me that it's real and he's a credible person. Nobody out there, with all the little quirky crap that they show you guys, nobody has any proof that it exists whatsoever. I've been bending my butt backwards trying to find proof that it exists. What I found is that it's housed in the AIIB, which is controlled by China, and that's as good as a lot of it got at the moment. But there is an update. We're going to get into that. But there's a couple things we need to get over before we even get into the QFS system and this quantum dollar. Yes, this comes from that fake website. I'll show you here in a second. But before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. Right now is a good time to buy the shine. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, go check out our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. Voted Invested PDS Best Overall Bullion Dealer 2 years in a row. That's right. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you'll get a free ½ ounce of silver. Stop on by. So from time to time, I will get articles from you guys, and I told you, these slick people out there, these guys, they're hell-bent and trying to prove that this thing is real so they can make their YouTube channel look like, hey, look, I'm proving to you the truth. And not only that, some of them are pulling some scams. They're trying to convince you that there's crypto tokens out there that are created. They know how to make cryptocurrencies, man. You could lose your money. You could lose your ass off. They have no intentions on doing anything with it. This quantum dollar is one of those ones. So as usual, from time to time, people will send me websites going, look, Pimpy, it's real. Look, Pimpy, it's real. No, look, you guys got to dig into these things. Any website that wants you to send them money or invest in anything that they have, you better check to see if they got contact information, a legitimate phone number for you to call, not some random email. That's terrible. In here, as usual, they got all the buzzwords. New horizons. The quantum financial system is a breakthrough, and the World Bank will lead you to a new era of banking. Oh, I want to be set in a new era of banking. And then they put all the same people on here that they do from the makers of. We went through this before on another website. They use the same people. And then it goes through here and you go through the whole story, but this one isn't so long-winded. Just it simplifies it, tells everybody what the QFS system, over here what the quantum dollar is, all this other loving stuff. So just be careful of crap like this, you guys. This is another one. Remember I had another website where they wanted you to buy their quantum financial tokens? You just need to be careful is all I'm saying, okay? Okay, so not that long ago, I told you guys that China has been trying to develop a separate system than the SWIFT system so that it could compete with the United States. There are plenty of countries out there, I show you guys almost all the time. Countries are tired of the United States using the SWIFT system as a weapon. That's what they do. Look what they did to Russia. This is why you're going to see the United States dollar continue to fall as people get away from it as the actual world's reserve currency, and they are getting away from it because they don't want to be forced to do something they don't agree with. Not everything the United States does is for good reasons, you guys. We're not always the good people. And so we use the SWIFT system as a weapon to force people to do what we want them to do, and they're getting tired of it. It says here, France and Germany confirmed joining China's AIIB Bank, a rival to the US-led Rothschild World Bank. Now remember, I created a QFS video showing people that it was tracked down. The QFS system was said to be in the basement of the AIIB, and I told you guys that's not a good thing because that's actually controlled by China, and everybody had a huge fit. but nobody else can show you anything different. At least I found websites that were legit. So, although this article is a little bit older, this is how far back that other countries had already been planning to get away from the United States dollar as a reserve currency, as well as trying to find an alternative to the SWIFT system. You can see here it says Europeans defy US to join China led bank. The finance ministries of France and Germany have confirmed they'll join China's new Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, and Italy is expected to join soon. Joining the arrival of the US led World Bank is seen as a setback for the Obama administration. Now, here's the thing that might have been at one time. But see, countries are smart. They know they can't trust China. China has another agenda, and that's to rule the world. So, what we're starting to find out is although there might be a great reset from the World Economic Forum, I don't believe everybody has bought into this whole kumbaya plan. Russia, China definitely appear to be fighting us. And I'm going to show you a video in which you can hear George Soros say China doesn't have a choice. They better join the New World Order. But here you can see they were already trying to find an alternative to the SWIFT system, and they believe they found it. Anyway, so the decision came after Britain. This is Rothschild country. Last week became the first Western country to agree to become a founding member of the AIIBFT report. The UK government said the decision was in the country's national interest, but it got a negative reaction from the United States. Of course, the United States wants to control everything. The new China led bank is expected to challenge the Washington based World Bank, aka the Rothschild World Bank, aka the IMF. So the U.S. is increasing pressure on its allies not to join the institution. The U.S. concerns is that the new investment bank might not have high standard of governance and environmental or social safeguards. That's what they say about everything they don't like, period. But this should blow your mind. Look at this. Soros, China must be part of the New World Order. Let's listen in.
No, I think this would be the time because you really need to bring China into the creation of a new world order, financial world order. They are kind of reluctant members of the IMF.
Okay, first of all, look at even during Obama's days, they were using the words New World Order. We heard Biden say we're in a new world order. We heard Janet Yellen say we're in a new world order. People must give in to the new world order. That's part of this great reset. So you can hear this. This goes back all the way during Obama's days. They are using the words the new world order. There's some resistance from countries. They don't want to be a part of this.
Play along, but they don't make much of a contribution because it's not their institution. Their share is not commensurate. Their voting rights are not commensurate to their weight. So I think you need a new world order that China has to be part of the process of creating it, and they have to buy in. They have to own it the same way as, let's say, the United States owns the Washington Consensus, the current order. And I think this would be a more stable one where you would have a coordinated policies. I think the makings of it are already there because the G20, in agreeing to peer reviews, effectively is moving in that direction.
Given this continued weakness in the U.S. economy, are people right to start to be concerned about the dollar?
Well, they are, of course, and the dollar is a very weak currency.
I want you to pay attention to what he's saying here because you could tell by the way he is talking, it has been the plan all along to weaken the US dollar. That's exactly what they wanted to do. So these people are not there for what's best for the United States. They literally are trying to destroy this country from the inside. They figure by weakening us, confiscating our guns, hitting us with diseases, the whole 9 yards, and dividing this nation like they have been, that they can start implementing their policies and procedures that would slowly force us into this new world order. But people are waking up to this, and not every country is agreeing to this, as we're finding out.
Except for all the others. So there is a general sort of lack of confidence in currencies and a move away from currencies into real assets. The Chinese are continuing to run a big trade surplus, and they're still accumulating assets. And basically, the renminbi is permanently undervalued because it's tied to the dollar. There is a diversification from assets that normally held by central banks into other assets, especially in the area of commodities. So there is a push in gold. There's a strength in oil.
You heard what he said. There's a push for gold. This is why you're seeing the gold and silver prices manipulated. They're trying to buy up as much as possible.
That is, in a way, a flight from currencies.
Is there going to be sort of a tipping point, a moment at which the dollar is fatally weakened, or does it just sort of carry on?
Well, it's difficult as long as as long as the renminbi is tied to the dollar. I don't see how the decline in the dollar can go too far. Now, of course, to some extent, it's very helpful because with the U.S. consumers saving more and spending less, exports can be a way for the U.S. economy to be balanced. So an orderly decline of the dollar is actually desirable.
You heard what he said. The decline of the dollar is desirable. They don't want us to be as powerful as we are, and I don't blame them to some degree.
Also, to decline against the renminbi, does there need to be some sort of a new global currency deal?
Yes. No, I believe that basically the system is broke and needs to be reconstituted.
The system is broke because of these people, people like Soros, people like our politicians. They want to kill the US dollar. Capitalism, when it's free flowing and not manipulated, is a great system. That's why all the markets are manipulated. Cryptos are manipulated. Gold and silver is manipulated. That's manipulated capitalism. Anyways, the system wasn't broken. They broke it because they're trying to force us into their new system.
We cannot afford to have the kind of chronic and mounting imbalances in international finance. So you need a new currency system, and actually the special drawing rights do give you the makings of a system. And I think it's ill-considered on the part of the United States to resist the wider use of special drawing rights.
They want us to use the SDRs as the world reserve currency, the SDR basket. And you heard what he said. It's not good for the United States to resist. So there are countries resisting this movement, but there is a political party that actually supports this. They are obvious as day who they are. Okay, I don't want to get into politics part of this, but you can tell which political group is trying to push us towards universal basic income. The one who's trying to take away our guns. The one who's trying to force us into vaccines. Those are the people that you should be keeping an eye on and be concerned about. I just wanted to do a brief part of this video to show you now that they're telling us that the United States has got to surrender to this new world order. So does China. And you can hear it in their wording that they absolutely, positively have been weakening the US dollar. There's no doubt about it. But is there a quantum financial system? Absolutely, there is. So let's listen to this professor talk about the quantum money and secure tokens. They're real. Listen.
Well, my name is Damián Pitalúa Garcia. I work in the University of Cambridge in collaboration with part of the Quantum Communications Hub. And here I'm presenting a work on quantum money and S-money. These are money schemes that are guaranteed secure from the laws of quantum physics. We have done some theoretical work and experimental tests that show this can be possible to implement in practice. Quantum money is the first invention of quantum information, but in practice this is difficult to implement because it requires quantum memories. So these are quantum systems where one can store the quantum states. These are very challenging technologies, so this has not been implemented so far. S-money is a new invention by Professor Adrian Kent in the University of Cambridge. And what it achieves is that it removes the necessity of these quantum memories, so we can implement it in practice. Well, the idea of quantum money and S-money is that the bank prepares the money, encoding quantum states, giving this to the user. The user can then present this in exchange for a merchandise. There are some properties that are guaranteed by these schemes, which are unforgivability, meaning that the money cannot be spent twice. User privacy, which means that the user is guaranteed that the bank cannot know where and when the user will spend this money. And instant validation, which means that when the user presents the token or the money, this can be instantly validated by the shop, for example, without the need to communicate with the bank or with any other shop.
So you hear what he's saying so far. You got to love it. Total anonymity, privacy. You can do your transactions without the bank knowing your business. Also, he said the money can only be used once, just once. This keeps the currency from being overused. And it also keeps value in the currency because there's a limited amount of it out there.
This is very important in applications where short time delays for this validation are undesirable. For example, in the stock market, there are high-frequency trading strategies where a lot of stocks are bought and sold within very short time intervals. So we believe in this kind of scenarios, S-money and also quantum money could be useful.
So as you can see, quantum financing is real, quantum banking is real, it is being worked on. A lot of the same words that are used in the YouTube arena are also used with these professionals. You heard them talk about a quantum currency token, one with privacy, one that is secured, and one that is limited. All the right things we want to hear. So people are taking existing information and then whipping it up into this crazy stories and stuff like that. So don't fall for it. I was able to track that the QFS system is in the basement of the AIIB. I don't know how credible that is, but that's what the article is telling us. We know that China has created an alternative system to the SWIFT system because they're tired of it being used as a weapon. We know there are several countries that are trying to get away from the US currency as the reserve dollar because of the abuse of power that the United States has demonstrated. We could tell that even going back to the days of Obama, there are other countries who are resisting this one world government movement. So, how successful are they going to be? We're going to find out, that's for sure. But I did want to bring up the fact that the QFS system is out there, it's real, but it's not the way people think it is. There is no your debt's going to disappear. That is not there, although they are talking about a debt jubilee. It is being talked about, but it has nothing to do with the financial system. That would just be a separate thing altogether. Anyways, you guys, every time I get a chance to pick up anything about the QFS system and share with you, I do. So here you have the latest and the greatest. Anyways, that's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.